It's a wood chopping times weekend project.
Hello, fellow wood chopperoos. The Big Chopperoo and Safety Dan here.
Hey.
And this is part 2 of our weekend project, the Craftsman Style Frame. Last week I showed you how I did the construction of the stiles and rails, and they're held together by the lap joint. This week I'm going to show you the extra profiles we're going to use to route in and how to make these square pegs. Now before we use any power tools, let's take a tip from Safety Dan.
And now, staying safe with Safety Dan.
Oh, hey. Always make sure that you wear your safety glasses and hearing protection.
This tip brought to you by Staying Safe with Safety Dan. I'm starting on the back side, and I'm routing a rabbet all the way around to hold the glass that will go in it. However, when the router comes to the corners, well, it's rounded. So I'm going to square it up with a sharp chisel. I've changed routers, and I've got a round over bit to add a small profile to the front side at the stile ends.
I've changed routers again, and I'm adding this 45-degree chamfer bit, to which I'll route on the stiles and rails, but I'll stop the chamfer a few inches short of the corner.
Once again, that router bit gives it kind of a slightly rounded look, so I'll clean it up with a chisel, making that chamfer more crisp.
It's time now to make the holes for the square pegs. I'm doing this mostly with my mortising machine. However, the one peg sits in a little bit farther than what my machine can reach, so I'm going to do that one by hand.
I'm using my square to transfer the lines where I want that last peg. Since these are 3/8 peg holes, I'm using my 3/8 chisel to make the last pencil line. I took the mortising bit out of my machine, and I'm just lightly tapping it to define the corners. I'll carefully drill through the stile, making sure I stay inside my defined lines. Once through, I'll clean up and square the hole with my chisel.
Next, it's time for me to make and install these square pegs. Now these pegs, they don't sit flush. They actually stick out a little bit. And I've chamfered them so that they have like a pyramid shape. Here, let me show you how I do that.
I have 3/8 squared stock, and I'm going to find the middle and mark it on each side. Then at the disc sander, I set my miter gauge to 45 degrees, and I'll sand until the disc just touches that line. Then I'll rotate it, and I'll sand to the next line, and do it again, and again, and again. I'll stick the square stock in from the back and mark it to cut. A quick cut on the bandsaw, and then I'll redo the whole process all over again. From the back side of the frame, I'll add some glue, and then I'll insert the peg from the front side. This way, any glue squeeze out doesn't mess up the peg on the front side. With the pegs all done, I'll now apply the stain. Once that dries, I'll add a couple of quick coats of amber shellac.
Now it's time to add the stained glass. Well, it's not exactly stained glass. It's one of those window coverings that I bought over at Home Depot. And it's not even glass. It's one of those fluorescent light lens panels that I bought.
I want to make sure that the covering doesn't peel off, so I'm spraying some adhesive to the lens panel. Now I'm using a trick that I do with countertops. I'm using Venetian blinds, and I lay them across the panel. Then I'll lay the covering on top of it. Then I'll carefully pull them out from the middle and work towards the ends, smoothing it out as I go.
From there, I'll just set the panel from the back and hold it in with a few thin strips. Yep, I really had fun making this project. Now, however, when I was making this, I actually did make a classic rookie mistake. And if you'd like to see what the mistake was and how I fixed it, check out the exclusive video only on my Facebook page. Well, there you go, a Craftsman Style frame that offers you beauty and privacy.
Wait a minute. You aren't wearing any pants.
Well, I know that, but they can't see it.
I'm out of here.
Well, if you like what you saw today, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Or you can join us on Facebook.
And don't forget about the blog.
Chad, there's only one thing left for you to do.
It's time for me to dance.
Loser!